Hi all, welcome to a new Raw and Real. And I'm here with my co-host Katerina and with Alice Budova. Welcome both. And it's an honor to be with the two of you. And Alice, you're known for us both. And but the audience doesn't know you that well, maybe, or maybe they do. Who are you, and what did bring you actually to this path?
Okay, very nice being here. Thank you very much for your invitation and looking forward to talk with you in a little different way, but maybe the same way we're just used to. So, yeah, we got to know each other from retreats, from like deeper work, self-development on the retreats. And in general, I like to introduce myself not as a coach, but as a person. I'm Alice. I'm very lively, energetic individual who lives in Spain currently. I really enjoy movement, dancing, deep conversations, and just living life to the fullest in any potential it can have. And I'm working as a coach. I work with individuals and also teams. I'm developing my own projects. I gather freelancers together in masterminds for freelancers. I also create some video content on Instagram and LinkedIn, and yeah, many more things which I do. And I really enjoy working on my own as an autonomo. And it's beautiful. It's just a playground for me to do a lot of things. And the second question was how I got to coaching. There
Or
was
you can
some,
also take it even broader. Maybe take us with us
what brought me to
from
this
birth
earth.
to now almost. I'm
Wow,
curious.
that could be a long story, but we can get into it later. However, yeah, maybe what I can share a bit what brought me where I am right now, because what is interesting is that for some people it can seem to be like a frenetic movement, like development which doesn't make much sense, that I didn't stay at one place for too long, which is maybe a fact a bit, but I connected to the phenomenon which we call multipotentiality. Being multipotential, which means having so many directions and talents, which can be sometimes hard to combine. And it is quite a challenge to find some balance in all of that. And throughout my path, I realized I'm one of these people. And for some time, it was a difficulty for me in a way, because I was trying to really get into some place and to become a part of something, of some group of people, or become a part of or belong to some community or to one specific position or something like that. But I found out it was like impossible basically for me to belong in just one spot. And I'm like the forever, not just like traveler, it's not connected too much to the place where I am, but in my head and in my movement, I need to see what comes next and where does it go, to be in a state of flow. And I really, what pleases me is like the image of water which is flowing, not the stale one where you're stuck in one place and you cannot change. Yeah, I got
Is
distracted
that
by myself a bit,
is
but it's yeah,
is
yeah.
that a wild river, or is it, how do you see it, or is it old water?
Wow, yeah, nice question. It can be different. It's probably broader. It's not like the tiny little one, but in a way, the ocean, which never ends, is for me like a bit of a too much. So I like to have some kind of a like touch points, let's say, where I can feel the connection as well. So it will be something in between, and sometimes wild and sometimes very calm. Yeah, I feel like I'm working in this, yeah, in not in circles, but in a motion constantly, in cycles, let's say. So that was a bit of a from above perspective, but I feel like it's very important even for my path, but also for with which type of a clients I usually work with. And so during my life, tried, I started studying international relations and diplomacy and study languages and international politics, and then I switched or transferred, evolved to more like a business field. I was working in startups. I was then started working in marketing in agency, and I tried multiple positions from like managing projects towards managing people and being a team leader there. I worked in an education company as an organizer or a creator of the programs for companies, how to develop their employees and teams. And yeah, more and more I started to feel that I don't want to be the person behind just to provide the organization or the strategy, but also be there on the spot and share what I got, so new perspectives and maybe some inspiration. And that brought me to coaching training, and started to dig into it and found out first one which I attend, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And it created and opened so much opportunities for me, which I haven't even thought of before. So this is how it, let's say, started. And then there was this one moment when I started to work solo on my own, and yeah, left the structures, let's say, and the companies, and started on my own. This is amazing. And it has been 6 years approximately now that I work on my own. And it brings lovely things, amazing things, freedom, but also it brings a lot of insecurity, let's say, and unknown, and also loneliness in some points.
When you are saying the multi-potentiality, because this is, I think, that's what we actually are. But before we were put more into boxes just by the education of those 3-5 years that you had to be placed on, that education was not very popular to switch universities, the majors. Also, like in my times, it was not even easy. Now maybe it's a bit easier, but it felt like starting from zero. So it was better to finish, get a diploma, even if you don't want to do it. And then from there, trying different jobs. And again, I remember I resonate with that. I was always waiting for the 2 years or a year when they told me, no, you need to wait a year or two to change, because I felt done in 3 months, especially the first jobs, because maybe I tried it. Like I remember I tried audit. I didn't like audit. I'm not going to stay 2 years in audit. It's like, but it came back. So at the end, the audit and finance was constantly coming back to my field. So maybe I had to learn there.
Yeah, it's actually, when you say it, I think, yeah, for sure, it's like switching, let's say, in the society, that it's much more open and you don't stay in one company for 15, 20 years, otherwise you're like canceled or something like that. However, there is also some kind of a maybe line, because we need to, us potentials, let's say, we also need to balance in a bit, in a way, like how not to leave things too easily. Because it's very easy to say, ah, I don't like it, or it's not for me. But it could be like me switching forever and saying nothing is for me, and then I die. And I don't know, like I didn't have the courage or energy or the enough will to stay there and actually try more, try deeper, and try to find the way. So it's not like it cannot be from one extreme to another. So yeah, it's another like aspect, let's say, what I talk to about with my clients, which usually come because I don't know why, I'm joking, but I actually naturally attract people like that. Usually we share the struggle in a way.
Yeah.
So do people, sorry.
Yeah, because I see it with you, Katrina. It's this multi-potential where I think maybe it's also something from entrepreneurs, especially to start somewhere. You want to do everything. It's also nice to do everything, what I hear also in your story, Alice. And I see it also close by with Katrina. We love to make posts now. We are very creative. We love to make, even sales is nice, follow-ups and everything. It's nice to not have one task, but all these kind of different tasks. And it all comes, of course, to one point eventually. And so that's beautiful. And I never heard from the term or the terminology of multi-potential. So thank you for that. And I also heard something at the end about, actually about the being alone in this business, because sometimes it is nice to have this freedom. It is nice to decide all for yourself, but there's some loneliness, there's some insecurity, there's some unknown, because we actually never know where we go in a year time, huh? And how do you, because we're talking about leadership and self-leadership, how do you go flow with that?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I think it's very strong topic for a lot of people which I work with or just meet. For example, the freelancers, I feel like we all share the same in this point. No matter if you're like more extroverted and you really want to be surrounded by a lot of people, or you just prefer sitting at your desk and having your privacy, like both, let's say, extremes, or both personalities require some kind of a connection. Like we're people, we're humans. How I get over that struggle, or how I deal with this, is I've recently realized it's three main ways to help myself with that. One is to gather with other freelancers, other solopreneurs. So that's why I also organize the masterminds, coming together with people who go through the similar things. Being alone, constantly evolving and finding like new balance, new strategy, how to adjust to how to use AI, how to find new clients, how to take care of your current clients, etc., etc. There are so many things. So sharing and meeting on regular basis with these people is helping me a lot. I also have like single people which I tend to meet like on a regular basis, like an accountability partners. And we are sharing what's alive in us at the moment, what we tackle, what we question ourselves at the moment, and we provide each other some either feedback or some new perspective, or some, oh yeah, that's interesting, I was actually thinking about it as well, and what I came up with was this and that. And so it's sharing on this level. So either accountability partnering or the freelancers group. And then there is the way or the format to meet other coaches. Currently, I still have one Balint group, which is like a format of group supervision for coaches. It's a format in the past used mostly for the doctors and the psychotherapists, etc. But it's much broader now, and we can use it for whatever is needed. And it's also something like a mastermind that we share the cases in privacy, without names, and we help each other, not so much with the cases, but more with our self relation to it, how to keep the distance, how to look at ourselves from different perspectives. For example, that, we're humans, not just coaches. So sometimes we just need to, hey, maybe you're too deep into it and there is some filter in your head. What about this and that? And so providing each other some kind of a feedback for this as well. Yeah, so these are my most used ways how to meet. And then also going out and meet new people. That's my kink. Yeah, that's my advantage as well. That I actually like doing that. And I like here in Alicante in Spain, I sometimes just go to some co-working places and I say, hi, what's up? How are you doing? And so something which is a horror story for some people, and some friends of mine, they're like, oh my God, how can you do that? This is insane. But for me, it's some kind of I just enjoy meeting new people and being in situations which I cannot be prepared for.
Yeah.
What about you? Go through the loneliness, or do you feel it? Loneliness in your entrepreneurship?
Yeah, for me, maybe I still want to reflect a bit. I loved how you said that you're navigating like water and still having some checkpoints. So the only way how I could stay also like almost 20 years in my career for the European Commission was that it was like a big river or enormous river, and I could be changing jobs. So yeah, every 2, 3 years or sometimes longer, but I could easily navigate like new things, learn new things, changing from project management to policy analysis to creating policies that I loved a lot and changing also the fields. So this is really rich. I think that this is maybe something very beautiful in, I don't know how our corporates, but working for the government or at least EU career, it's really nice that there is freedom to change from climate to regional policies to HR. So that's really big beauty. I think yeah, I really like how you explained that. And now it's a big change for me to be an entrepreneur. So now suddenly I am the river and I need to create it. And it is different because even though I had before projects and of course I was creating them or drafting the policies and creating the frameworks, it is different and it requires different roles. For instance, I had a bit of a limiting belief that 2 years ago I was saying, oh, I don't know, I'm not a salesperson. So I was delegating it to Yasser. Like, I think that because he comes from marketing and sales, I'm like, no, I do other parts. And now I realize like I grew into a great salesperson. And now this is the part that I love and I enjoy it so much. So I actually realized there is no one who can sell my product better than me. So we also tried like other salespeople, but I'm like, I need to coach them how to sell it and they cannot sell it because with the same passion and also knowing and understanding the client, because obviously I know already what I can offer. I can tailor the offer. So that was like quite a discovery that now I'm like, wow, I really enjoy sales.
Is it something that changed? Is it something like when did it change? Is it or just when the start of the Breathwork Club?
I think that actually I was always a great salesperson, but I just didn't know that this was selling because I was before talking about. So the change was when I listened to some podcast and somebody actually made me aware that I'm a great salesperson because the person asked his wife, like, I don't know, do you know a great Italian restaurant? And that lady started to talk like how amazing the Italian restaurant is, and she sold it. And actually, I was always super passionate about my work. So naturally, I am selling either climate, and then I'm a climate activist. I sell my car, I'm biking, I just do secondhand clothes. I totally believe what I'm selling or what I'm doing. I need it for myself. I need to believe it fully. So I think that what changed is that I didn't know that I'm a great salesperson because I had some image. And now I realize it's just actually being me and maybe sharing what I do. And that's it.
I really love that realization and point of view. And what I feel is that we sometimes take over the patterns of how the work or the position should look like from the environment we work in. Yeah, obviously. But I feel like this works for so many things. There are some beliefs or patterns which just we take over. We don't even know about them. Like it's so automatic, and it can be either like how the sales should be done. And I'm not the salesperson like in a cravat and I don't know with this briefcase and coming with the folders.
Calling or something like that. Oh my God, I'm not calling anyone.
Cold calling. Oh my God. Yeah, I've tried it, by the way. Like I did it once on my career path. Never mind. But so this is exactly like you feel, no, I'm not that, so I'm not the salesperson. Or what came to me was also like the how we work and how we organize our day, for example. Like I've found myself being stuck a bit in a pattern that you work from some time in the morning until some time in the afternoon. And I could remind myself like a million times, like I can do it how I feel like doing it. But in a way, it's as with everything. If you need to create it your own way, it's difficult. You need to devote some time to think about it and create like the new environment, new conditions, or new whatever, everything. And you have the freedom to do that. But if you can see that you can do that with everything on being autonomous, I just say
Autonomous.
it's pathetic right now.
Freelancer, maybe.
Freelancer. If being freelancer, that's just too much. And I don't want to question everything, like every single thing. It's just too hard, right? I wouldn't move a meter if I question every step. Should I do it this way? Should I have a paper or a pen or red or blue? And oh my God. And it was in some ways like overwhelming for me because I'm soaking so many options and I'm like a sponge, like I'm interested in everything. So I'm curious and yeah, and how you do it and what are the options and wow, that's amazing. And I could do it like how I want to. But then what can lead it to is also that you are like, yeah, as a little dog
Hamster.
in the water.
Or yeah, that you don't really move.
Yeah. So in a way, I found myself being stuck in some parts after some years that I just do it like automatically. But for example, with a daily schedule, I really wanted to think it through. And I said, this is something which I want to change. It's important for me because it creates and it applies how I feel in my life as well. Like it's super important. So I transferred it a bit and now I'm much more happy, like how I organize my days. But I needed to give it some observation when I'm effective, when this works, when it's sunny in Spain on the rooftop, and when I want to be like prefer being inside, etc. So how to combine it with my partner, for example, at home. This is again like something, the freedom, which is amazing and I love it, but sometimes it's this little evil coming with too many options and saying, are you sure you want to do it like that? Don't you want to change it? So it's fun.
Yeah, yeah. And Yasser, how is it for you? Because this is the second company you're building.
I do recognize this sometimes this loneliness, especially when I felt it more in crowd. I just wrote actually a post around it. It's about this, yeah, to be almost alone and you carry lots of things because you have 20, 25 people, or I had 25 people around me that needed work or worked with us, worked with me. And so there is a bit of loneliness, but I don't feel it now. So it's very beautiful because with you, Katrina. This very beautiful to have this business partner that is connected in yeah, that we can connect in different ways. We are talking about creativity, we're talking about the sales, we're talking about the structure of the website. All these things are coming together. So there's no loneliness. There is a bit of unknown. All the work that we put in now, it's not paid off at that moment. So there is a bit of this, okay, we're moving 3, 4, 5 months really hard. And last year we built up the structure and there is income, but there is not the income that we desire. So to be okay to have all these seeds everywhere, that it finally goes into blossom. I think that's the most difficult part of entrepreneurship, especially I saw it also with Crowd, the former company. We didn't want to score at this moment. We are also sometimes say we don't want one night stands. We want people that are fully in and that said, okay, I'm going for it. And especially our target group is companies, corporates. So it takes time. It takes time, but there is a bit of unknown. And yeah, we use breath, or I use breath to do that. I use breath to calm the nervous system down. Yeah.
Yeah, I super very much admire actually the solo entrepreneurs, the freelancers, because this is, yeah, we are starting the second year. And it's better because I feel much more supported that we are like co-founders. So it means like I have this feedback maybe that you were talking about with coaches. So we can create the website together or we draft some parts, but I have this feedback on it or I can consult. Yes, sir. I also love that we have other freelancers that work with us. So that's actually very beautiful. Also the breathworkers. So that brings the human touch and clients. And so it's really nice. I find at this moment nice balance that I have time for my work. So I also am happy that some days I'm at home and I can like work on my own. And then it's beautiful to get out of the office and travel. So we travel actually quite a lot because we work a lot in Belgium and the Netherlands. So there is constant traveling. Yeah, and I also love this human resources, like to work with other people. And there is really beauty to create a network. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
But what is the challenge for you now? Like you have been already on this path for 6 years. It feels like a nicely established business. Everything is great. You have your clients, you grow. So what's the next step, or what is the challenge, or what is this big question? Are you going to continue like that? Do you want to be a coach? Do you want to focus on companies or teams or individual people or men, women, or is there something like right now, like a new project? Oh, this is what I want to try.
Yeah, thanks for asking. Like it's actually, yes, since the multi-potentiality, there are multiple things at once. So maybe I start with one challenge or one task which I give to myself in recently, and it's that I'm looking for another person to the team. So I'm like the opposite process than what you have maybe. I want to compare it, but I wanted to start by myself to make sure what I want, how I want to do it. And I felt like I needed to do it by myself because it was also like this self-development path. Like I went to coaches and to therapy and had some help with the structuring the documents and how I order things. So it was like really important for me to find the way which suits me and also specify much more who am I focusing on, who is the target audience, etc. And right now I feel in order to like get to the next level, I imagine it as a computer game. So in order to get like, hey, mission completed, and now you can elevate to another level, I need somebody to help me with making the ideas reality, becoming reality. So I don't have the specific hiring post ready yet to share. It will be soon, hopefully. But just in general, like I want somebody who is structured, who keeps the system, who is okay with being like in a little bit behind the curtain of the projects and can help me to maybe speed up the process a bit because since there are so many things at once, I feel like I get stuck sometimes on the complexity and I'm not able to move it forward so effectively, let's say. So I could do it. I know how to do it. I can imagine all the tasks since I'm like coming from the project management as well. But I just want to give myself the permission to be the idea maker, the star, the creator, and not pushing myself into being the one who finishes every task because it's in a way contradictory to in the project. So this is like something which is very important for me right now. I realize that, and it doesn't allow me to jump into new things yet because I feel like I just need this buddy to for that. And also like the second part of the question, like where I'm heading and what I focus on, I really feel attracted to the multi-potentials. I feel like this is also a big topic for the future. And also like considering the change with AI and yeah, some positions just like dissolving or disappearing slowly. I just feel like there is some like higher need for these multi-potentials in society because we will have to be able to connect, to source from other fields and bring together ideas, bring together people, be empathetic, etc. So I really believe that it's like a great asset to be like that, not the opposite. So this is some field I want to focus on. Men, women, everybody, anybody. I'm not limited. And I really love working with individuals, but also I love working with teams because I just feel like it can have like much more effect on the company or on the society. And it's also like important to see that one thing is how I focus on my own and myself and that, but it's super important to also think of the environment, and it's the systemic approach, let's say, that we're not here alone and with other people and with nature and everything, and we would like to make it sustainable. So working with teams and creating, helping the dynamic shine is amazing attraction for me. So I love both. I also love to incorporate the movement to it. It's also one project, like little secret right now. I'm gonna work on it with a great friend of mine who is also working with somatic healing and working with the body. And so I would like to help people to feel authentic also through movement. So that's another, yeah.
That's another of these ideas
Another
we talked about.
component which is there coming to me. Yeah.
Yeah. All these ideas that are popping up, and actually you need help with what you say to make it work or to make it happen, because there's only limited time. It's that.
Yeah, we are also sometimes wondering for some work if it's the time to already delegate or if we can still cope with that, because there are parts that, yeah, if we have to do the creation and be with the clients, and then there is the back office work. Yeah, and I love that we do embodiment in our offerings, no? Do you want to talk about it? Yes, sir. Maybe some breathwork and embodied practices that we do?
Yeah. So it's beautiful, Alice, that you say movement and dance, and it's actually what I'm going to give tomorrow, a very short workshop. And the start is with this movement, because when we are moving our body, we get out of our mind, we get into our body, and the energy is actually in our body, not in our mind. So we start to get people in their body to move them. It can be because I know you're a great dancer, Lisa, or I don't know it, I heard it.
Yes,
So
she is.
I really want to experience it, so that will come later. So if you ever do something with dancing or online, I'm here. But with dancing or movement, you get energy in your body that is stored there. It's not that something gives me energy, it is there. So we are actually starting with that. And the second part is breath. Can we incorporate breath? Because yeah, even if you are checking now, where is my breath? Is it high? Is it low? How can I move that? And there are so many modalities of breath work that we can use to energize ourselves or just slow down. It can also be just relax, slow down, and say, okay, this is not the moment. And whenever there's a trigger, whenever there is some argument or whatever, can I just step out, or can I do something else? Can I breathe? And can I see where does it come from? So this is actually what we do in very short in this embodiment, is train the body to open up. And when we're open, there's something coming in. And how can I be with that? And that's breath, one of the things. And yeah, so this is a little bit of insight what we do in our workshops. And this is the embodiment, huh? And there's so much more about embodiment. It's so beautiful, because I think we're just starting with this embodiment, and we're just starting to get that our body is really intelligent. And we know it because we are maybe more into the field, but I'm also seeing more people are experiencing it, maybe through others, but they are there. And so we are front runners, I see. And that's also some patience that we need to have, or I need to have, not we, I need to have. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
patience.
also, no, go, Ali.
No, just patience. I'm laughing to myself. The patience, it's not my forte.
No, and can I, just one
Yeah.
thing, yeah, because what also comes up, we have Vilna Acorn, that's our guru, and she also says, what you also said in the beginning, you attract exactly the people that are connecting with you, are almost the same, or that they did the path a little bit later started or whatever, but you attract exactly what you are. And the more work we put in, so the more open we are, more attracting the same kind. So maybe we're all three a little bit impatient in some ways.
Yeah, and I really love, like, I can say also it's a little bit cultural, in my opinion.
Okay.
So I love, like, when we are in the Netherlands, I somehow feel like Dutch people are open-minded, like at least in comparison to the Czech Republic or Belgium. But maybe this is a judgment. It's my experience so far. This openness, like yes to new. Like already to be a pilot, it's super like, I want to be in the pilot, is in the Netherlands. And in Czechia, it's like, okay, test it first. And then you come to me and you tell me if it works. And then I join. It's such a different approach. So I remember we had to redraft something for companies, because It's like really the Dutch companies want to be the first. Okay, no one tried it. Okay, here we are. Like perfect. I want to be the first. And so that's quite easy. Like I find, companies in the Netherlands quite open. We did even some orgasmic breathwork in the work also from our retreats. Yeah, so it's like I could never imagine like orgasmic breathwork in going through chakras and full body explosion in a company. It's possible. So that really set some benchmark for me. I was like, wow, I'm really happy that these companies are there. And it's not companies, it's people. So that these people are there and in the office environment, they just lay down and go fully in. So maybe there is that we attract the people that what we radiate, we attract. So I'm really grateful for all the clients that we have because they are clients, but they are such human connection for me and such treasure. What I learn also from them that sometimes I wonder who is supporting who. I learn so much from, it's so much. It's really beautiful how much I learned from our clients.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting, I know, I don't want to be, we're getting a little bit at the end of the time even. We were talking before, it flew again. I'm really
I
curious.
still have a question for
Me
Ali.
too. But can I go first or you go first?
Yeah, you go. 6,
What,
7.
yeah. What is your morning practice? What is it? How do you work in the morning? Or maybe afternoon, I don't know, when you wake up.
Thanks for asking. I'm proud of it. Ah, no, I'm like joking, but not joking because yesterday we got like a new little table, which is like a tray on the with a tray with legs,
Yeah.
like a little table. And you can bring it up on the roof, which is one floor up above us. And I prepare my coffee, my oats with fruit and everything, with protein. I bring my headphones and my yoga mat, and is it all? And sunglasses. And I bring this up to the rooftop and I jump for the first like 10-15 minutes, like jumping, dancing, doing squats and everything which I feel like, and like attracting the sun. Like there is a sea view as well. Yeah, next time I'm bringing you up there to the rooftop, but it's pretty windy, so I decided to stay inside for this talk. And so this is like energizing a lot. And then I do some yoga practice and also breathing practice. And yes, and then I have my breakfast with the view. So this is like the start. I usually listen to some podcasts with it, but I also need to like keep it cool because I'm like listening to a lot of things and information. So there's also like a recent upgrade that it's also nice just to sit and look and not soak all the new things all the time. So this is my morning practice recently. What about yours? Is there something you want to share, something which is really making your day spark?
So we breathe. I breathe. Yeah, that's the first thing. But now, and before I was doing breathing and then yoga, but now I'm also doing much more, these 10-15 minutes, not necessarily the high intensity training that I did before, like more, okay, let's do HIIT. But now I noticed that actually if I do these aerobic movements, like a bit of squats, but more like dancing, but more than dancing or more like active dancing, that it's super good for my body. Like I get into really good high vibration. And so I was like, wow, there is something about this aerobic from the 80s. It just brings even the music that it's like super cheerful.
Yeah.
Yes. And take it up and take it down. So sometimes you make fun with yourself, like all these aerobic movements. And we make a wave.
Yeah.
So I realized it's super powerful. So that's my new discovery. And then I always love yoga, but I don't always have time like for that half an hour. So this is quite like a nice good morning practice because it brings me good morning. And with the breathing that I do like 10-15 minutes, so I do everything in half an hour. Then it's amazing. And I stop with coffee. That's my new thing. It's getting me heart attack before I had a coffee in the morning. And then I switched to decaf, and now I'm like, okay, no more coffee. Just occasionally get it out of my morning routine because maybe I don't need it. Let's see. To be seen. To be seen.
Amazing. What about you, Yasser? Do you have something to share from your morning energizer?
It's quite the same. Breathwork is a big thing. So there's somewhere in the morning breathwork, or I also love to move, but I like to do this hit, or I'm married with my kettlebell. I think it's one of the most treasurable items to have for workouts. It's you can do anything with it. So then I do maybe sometimes 10 or 30 minutes in between that to get the body almost pumped up with all these hormones that get free. There's one desire that is still missing, is this journaling. It's something that I desire to do, but it's so difficult to get in. So I also see we are teaching people to get into some kind of rhythm. And sometimes it's so difficult for me to get in that rhythm, or to get this motivation of getting into it, because I know it's good. I know it's amazing that to write half a page or just a few sentences even. So that's something that I desire to do more. But I also like this playfulness of dancing, or actually it's not dancing for me. I can't say it's dancing. It's more being crazy. And
Like
yeah,
dance can have like multiple forms.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
a salesperson.
yeah. And we bought so it changed. We bought a piano, and I can't play piano, but with simply piano, I can do something. There was a period that I did that every day, 10, 15 minutes. It's nice to also change. I see that it's like you said, this river with checkpoints. Sometimes you come somewhere and you're like, oh, this is nice, and I do this. Yeah, yeah.
I have one tip for you. I have it here. I got a gift from my boyfriend, and it was like the one of the best gifts ever. It's this button, yellow
Uh-huh.
button. There is a 30 seconds dance party written on it. We have
Uh-huh.
it here in Alicante. We have it in Prague as well. And you just hit the button, and a song pops up for 30 seconds. It's some crazy techno, disco, something craziness, like not something I would play for myself. However, you just go crazy for 30
Wow.
seconds. And it's like an amazing like bridge between tasks, or when we're like stuck in something, or we're like, "Ah, I don't want to go there," or I don't want to stay, or something. So we hit it and we dance crazy or jump, and it's amazing. I won't play it right now. That would be too much maybe, but I recommend.
I love it. I love it.
I love it too. I love it too.
We're going to buy it. Last question, because we're a bit over time.
Yeah, for me, it's just yes or no. Like, would you recommend your job?
Yes and no. I would recommend it, but it's super important to ask yourself first a lot of questions. Like, what do you expect from it? What is it that brings me joy? And multiple questions. So it's not like for everybody, for sure. And I see a lot of people around me who like tried it and were like, no, it's not for me, like I cannot do it. And it's okay, like you can try and leave it for sure. But in general, I think it's amazing for me right now how I create it and keep creating. But it depends. Yeah.
Yes, I stay with this beautiful but multi-potentiality.
Yes,
And
to you.
yes,
Yeah.
yes to now and to water and the river. So beautiful. Ali, thank you so much for joining us. I'm super happy that we could meet here and that we could talk. And I would be super pleased if we do it in future, maybe like in 6-8 months when new things come, the embodied workshop is already running and new things are on the market. Yeah?
Thank you very much for inviting me. It was amazing, and I almost forgot that we're like
Live.
live. Okay, we are.
We were. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. It was a joy to be in your energies. It's amazing how you both light the room. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Thank
Thanks.
you, guys.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye bye.
Yeah.